the mustachioed menace, the macho mullet, the brute in the boot, the bad mama jam all the way from Louisiana, the head honcho of the Pablito posse. This is Cody Barrett, ladies and gentlemen. Cody, say what's up to the people.
Growing up, my dad was like a really big boxing fan. Whenever I was a kid, Floyd was big, Pacquiao was big. You know, once the UFC got a little bit bigger, my dad kind of jumped into that too, watching it. Whenever I was in 8th or 9th grade, my dad met Eric Scallon somehow, and they just got to talking. And Eric, let my dad know eventually I will be starting a branch of Gladiators Academy in Youngsville. My dad asked me if I wanted to start, and, I just showed up one day and never stopped.
I met Cody the first time in Youngsville. I think he was still in high school, and just seeing how much he's grown and how much grown as a person, grown as a fighter, grown as everything, but just seeing the dedication.
100% something that I see in my future is turning pro. I don't know when, and I think it's kind of more something that I will know whenever it's time, because once you take that step, there's no turning back. So it feels like my amateur career is going on forever, because I started training whenever I was 15, had my first fight at like 18 or 19.
Everybody's got some sort of different path that they have to take in this sport, and it's ultimately up to them to kind of realize like what direction that kind of takes them.
You constantly have these 2 meters of, where you're at with your fight game, fight career, if you want to say, and where you're at, financially and in life, making ends meet, and you got to kind of get ahead in one at a time until eventually, they'll be able to grow together. But for right now, I got to get ahead financially, and then, okay, now I got some time, let me get a fight in. I started working downtown right after high school, bouncing, and just kind of seeing where the nightlife of Lafayette was going. It's getting more and more dangerous. I've been jumped 2 different times. One time woke up getting a CAT scan, getting hit with bottles, guns pulled on me, stuff like that. It's not worth it no matter how much you're making. There's really no use me being out there late at night, not getting the right recovery, and more often than not putting my body at risk. So I just figured it wasn't worth it and got out of there. Inside and outside the sport, I just want to keep growing, work on business ideas and things like that, using the platform that I've created, and also use business as a way to free up my schedule. Eventually be working for myself one day. That way I can put more time into training.
It's incredible watching them. Just trying to figure out the right scenarios and stay in the gym and listening to everybody and taking in all the information, asking questions.
You named names earlier, Rylan Melanson, Elliot Hebert, AJ Fletcher, Dustin Poirier. And without these guys, I probably wouldn't see a way out through the sport. I don't think I could ever go on if I just said, all right, I'm over this fighting stuff. I don't want to go out and build a business, build a brand, and I'm gonna go work offshore. Not that there's anything wrong with a field like that. I can make a lot of money and probably raise a family and have a nice home and nice vehicles and stuff like that. But I think that there would be something inside of me that's kind of missing out on what I'm called. And even if I don't end up fighting in the UFC, even if I don't make it to Bellator, even if I don't, do any of the things that we hold on to in this game, I'm still feeling accomplished just knowing that, I put it all out there and I took a risk and I took a dive going into this sport. Because if there's no AJ Fletcher, then I don't see that there's any point to it. If there's no Dustin Poirier, then it's just 2 guys taking their shirts off and fighting. I could do that. I'd go back, work downtown and do that. There's gonna be a way out at the end of this, so that's kind of what just keeps me going, day in and day out. I know that eventually all the work and everything that I put into this, whether it's, turning over crawfish cages, or driving and deliver crawfish, or boiling crawfish, or coming to the gym and wrapping my gloves up, it's all gonna pay off one day.